Okay. Good morning, everybody. In the previous class, we looked into entrepreneurship in India, how entrepreneurship developed in India from ancient time until now, and how entrepreneurship has been given with a prominent importance by every elected government, and so that they understand the entrepreneurship is the one which can help the economy to be like a strong and build a lot of small scale industry which will help in not only contributing towards the economy, also to contributing in the areas of the unemployment, right? The small scale industries, entrepreneurs, they generate the employment, so a lot of people will get the employment. Government has come up with the many policies, many schemes, many provisions where entrepreneurs will get benefited, entrepreneurs will get encouraged so that they can start up their business. So once entrepreneur setups his business, definitely it will going to help the ecosystem. Like when certain industry starts, there are many dependencies on those industries. It generates the direct employment in terms of the requirement of that particular factory or the manufacturing unit, and also indirect employment it will generate, which are dependent on this particular factory. So overall, we can see, like, next to the agriculture sector, the small scale industry is the one which generates a lot of employment. And in general, all the entrepreneurs, whether it is a small scale or the large scale, they contribute towards the economy. In India also, this has happened from the ancient ages till the modern age. The industries have grown, and that is how the India is able to develop in terms of the per capita income of the people. There is a gradual increase. The GDP is, there is a gradual increase. So that is how the entrepreneurs can help to the nation. Next one is the identification of the opportunity. In the previous class, I talked about one story where the salesperson, how they find the opportunities. So entrepreneurs are the one who will look out for the new opportunities. They will identify the opportunities. How to identify the opportunities? There are many different ways. One is the outlook itself. In the story, the given statement, particular challenge. In that particular challenge, they were asked to sell the wooden combs to the monks. That itself is the opportunity. And how he will do it, how he will visualize it, how he will think innovatively and build his market. That is the one, that is the challenging factor for the entrepreneur. And in general, how do we find the opportunities? Normally, opportunities, the situations might give the opportunity. Example, like a war. War will give a lot of opportunity because it will go through a phase where there is a reconstruction of the country. So another situation is a similar situation what we are in today, that is COVID-19 situation. It's a kind of a pandemic which is giving. There are a lot of threats, also there are a lot of opportunity in terms of the healthcare industries, in terms of the hospital facilities, medical facilities, pharmaceutical companies. It is the opportunity where they can come up with the innovative things, right? Still the world is waiting for the vaccines and all those things. This is the opportunity that is given. So opportunity may not be given in all the sectors at the same time. So it is a time bound. Certain time will be good for certain sector, other time will be good for the other sectors. So the current situation is a good for the healthcare sector, medical systems, pharmaceutical companies, things like that. That is a one way entrepreneurs look into the opportunities. What are the other ways? As entrepreneurs are innovators, the new idea, the constant thinking of the individual, it might result into new ideas. All of you might be having some kind of a new idea, so that is the opportunity. uh, you are seeing something, or you have some idea which is nowhere present in the current world, so that becomes an opportunity. So individual thinking is a one way. And what are the other ways? Discussing with other people, discussing with your friends, discussing with your family members, that will lead to some kind of a new ideas, new ideas or the opportunities. What are the other sources? The other sources are, when you are looking for the opportunity, the thing you should look out is the problems in the society. Okay, problems in the family, problems in the society, problems in the everywhere, that will give rise to the opportunity. The problems, when you solve the problems, that is the opportunity. So you should always look out for the problems, or the pain points. We call it as a pain points. Whatever are the pain points that is bothering the society, that is bothering the nation, that is the opportunity. So we have to constantly look out for the pain points or the problems that can be converted into an opportunity. This is true. Next final year, next year you are going to do the project, right? Final year project. When you want to do the project, you look out for the problems, right? When you look out for the whatever the problems that exist in the society, that problem will can be converted into an opportunity, that can be converted into an project. Example, the current situation, what is the problem? The spread of the corona is the problem. And what is the opportunity? If any company that comes up with a vaccine, okay, so they will make a lot of business out of it. That is the opportunity. Other simple opportunities are like, if you remember, before railway implemented the online booking of the ticket, like people had to go to the railway station, stand in the big queues, then wait for like a 1 hour, 2 hour, and then get their tickets or the booking done. Now that was the problem of the people. So they came up with a solution. They made it as a online. So 90% of the crowd who has a ability to transact on online, they can directly book their tickets online. They need not wait. So that is how they removed that particular problem. So you can think of many such problems which are around, and you can give the a solution for that. Another example is like Zomato, these applications where people doesn't want to go out of their house. At the same time, they want to enjoy the food given by the XYZ restaurants. Zomato came up with a plan. They connected the restaurants and the customers. They came up with the application, and that is how they satisfied the need of the people. So either it can be a problem, or it is a need of the people wants such a system, right? Ola is another example, where you can get the taxi where you are standing. You need not go to a certain a place to catch your transportation. So that is the they either you are solving the need of the people, or either you are solving the problem of the people. That is how you will find the opportunity. So thinking about the need and thinking about the problem, that will give rise to an opportunity. What are the other ways? Other ways are the uh, IEEE magazines, like technical magazines. It could be IEEE or any other kind of journals. When you read a lot of technical articles, non-technical articles, you will, during that process, you might come up with a new idea. Then what are the other sources? Attending exhibitions, then going to the the science fair, going visiting the factories, then visiting the conferences. So these are the various places where you can find the opportunity. Meeting the entrepreneurs, meeting the industrialist, meeting the people from the science background, meeting the scientists. That is how you will get the opportunity. Opportunities are, or the ideas, new ideas cannot be brought in isolation. When you interact with the other people, that is how you will get the opportunity. So that is the how you can identify. Those are the various ways. Now you are studying about different subjects, then you might get some ideas, right? And also you are going through the journals, you are looking into the projects of the other people, you are looking into the functioning of the other companies. That is how you will get the ideas. So you have to constantly interact with the environment. When you interact with the environment, that is how environment will give you some leads, or the some ideas which can be converted into an opportunity. The reason for anyone to think of establishing a small scale industry unit can be summarized in a single word: opportunity. So, what is the meaning of the opportunity? Opportunity is nothing but a reason for anyone to think of establishing a small scale industrial unit. It can be summarized as a opportunity. It is these I told you, most of the management theories evolved from the manufacturing world, right? There were a lot of challenges in the manufacturing, real manufacturing. That is how those principles were conceptualized. When we say small scale industry, it need not be just the manufacturing unit. In case of a IT industry, your company, it's a startup company. Any sector you can take, whether you take manufacturing, whether you take IT industry or healthcare industry, any industry, starting up of a business, you can say that is nothing but an opportunity. The opportunity to be your own boss, to implement your own ideas, to earn for himself or herself, is the reason to think of starting a small scale unit. So, what is the advantage of having a opportunity or starting a business is you can be your own boss, right? You need not work for anybody else. You will be your own boss, and whatever the ideas you have, you can implement those ideas, okay, without any hindrance or without any problem. You can implement all your ideas, which cannot happen when you are working for somebody. When you are working for the somebody, you have to take the consent of the people in order to implement your ideas. Earn for yourself, right? If you have your own enterprise, that means whatever the earning you will get, it is for yourself. These are the reason behind starting your enterprise. And starting an SSI needs a lot of courage. So starting a new business, always it requires a lot of courage. With that courage, entrepreneur can make it succeed, right? So the courage in terms of, we talked about the entrepreneur characteristic of the entrepreneur. He Entrepreneurship, it involves a high risk, right? And that particular risk is non-insurable. That means that entrepreneur has to take the risk, and there is no support system which will take care of that particular risk. If there is a chance of failure, the entrepreneur is at a whole, he is himself is responsible for that failure, right? He can completely lose his investment, right? So that is the big challenge for the entrepreneur. So he has to be very courageous to be successful. To stay in the business, an entrepreneur needs combination of hard work, skill, and perseverance. So in order for the entrepreneur to be successful, uh, he has to work hard. He should have the proper skill, whatever the area he is doing the business or starting the entrepreneur, starting the enterprise, he has to have the particular skills required to make it successful. And that particular perseverance is talks about the effort that goes in consistently. He has to put the effort consistently without losing the focus on what he has to do. Entrepreneur who starts their own business can be grouped into two broad categories. Okay, there are two categories where we can classify the entrepreneurs. The first category consists of a people who know exactly what they want to do and are merely looking for the opportunity or resources to do it. First category is the kind of a people, they exactly know what they want to do. Okay, they are very clear with what they want to do, and they have clear vision of their enterprise, and they are just looking for the opportunity or resources, right? Resources could be, it could be capital, it could be the land requirement, raw material, it could be anything, or the right kind of a people. So they are just looking for that, but enterprise wise they have a clear vision what they want to set up. These people already developed many of skills necessary to succeed in their chosen field, and are also likely to be familiar with the industry customs and practices which can help during the startup phase of a new business. So these people, they are already have a necessary skills for the for successful enterprise, and they are familiar with the what are the normal customs and the practices of the industry, and they know how the startup works. So they are skillful in terms, they are skillful, they are just waiting for the opportunity or the resources. The second group consists of a people who want to start their own business but do not have definite ideas about what they would like to do. This category, like they are sure they want to start their own business, but they don't know what to do, like which areas to take up, or they don't have the definite idea. Okay, the idea is not very clear. So I think like there is a larger second group is like there are many people who wants to start their business but they don't know how to do it. We talked about the EDP, Enterprise Development Program, which is conducted by various government agencies. That particular type of programs will help these people. The second group, they want to start something, they have all the resources, all may not be all the resources, they have capital, they are ready to do the investment, but they don't know what to do. That is the second group. They may have developed skills during their education in the course of their previous employment, but many have not be interested in opening the business in the same field of endeavor. So these people might be, they are skillful, they have taken education in particular area, or they have worked in that particular area with some companies, and they have gained the experience, but they are not interested in to start the business in that particular area. They are interested in having a some other kind of a business. So that is the reason they are not sure what they want to do. Identification of opportunity. Project identification is concerned with the collection, compilation, and analysis of the data. So, see, when we talk about the opportunity, ideas, and project, these are a kind of a synonymous, right? Idea or opportunity will get converted into a project, right? Project has to start based on an idea. Without an idea, project will not start. So these terms are used synonymously. Here what it says, project identification is when you are identifying a project, or when you want to start your enterprise using a project, you have to collect a lot of data, you have to compile that particular data, you have to do the analysis on the data, and then you can think of a particular project, whether it can be feasible or not. It is done for the eventual purpose of locating the possible opportunities for investment and with the development of the characteristic of such opportunities. Why we have to collect the data? Why we have to do the analysis of the data? The main reason being to finding the possible opportunity. Okay, and when we find the possible opportunity, when we think that particular opportunity is feasible, later we'll look into the feasibility studies. Whenever you identify an opportunity which can be converted into an enterprise, you have to do the feasibility study. So feasibility study will make sure that that project is viable or not. Okay, then once it is opportunity is viable, then it will then there will be people who will be ready to do the investment. Opportunities according to Drucker are of three kinds. There are three kinds of opportunities. First one is the additive, second one is the complementary, and third one is the breakthrough opportunity. These are the three different types of opportunity according to Drucker: additive, complementary, and breakthrough opportunities. So, what is the additive opportunities? Additive opportunities are those opportunities which enable decision maker to better utilize the existing resources without any way involving change in the character of a business. Let us say, what are additive opportunities? There is a existing business, and you find the opportunity which is in such a way that which will complement with whatever you have, whatever the existing business you have, it will complement. It will not bring in great change in your existing structure, existing resources. Okay, without changing any of these things, you will get a new business. Okay, that is called as a additive opportunities. Basically, additive opportunities go in line with what you have, right? For example, pharmaceutical companies, they are making they have a lot of products currently. Now the COVID situation is a additive opportunity. They can add on with their existing infrastructure. They can use the infrastructure to do more research on this particular virus, and they can come up with a vaccine. That is a additive opportunity. What is complementary opportunity? It involves the introduction of new ideas, such as do lead to the certain amount of change in the existing structure. Complementary opportunities are the one where the organization has to bring in lot of changes to accommodate that particular opportunity. Let us say a particular company, they are in the area of the IT services, right? If they want to get themselves involved in the networking area, so that is a big change for them. If they want to get involved in the let us say data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, it is a great change for them. If they want to come in the area of the product development, that's a big change for them. So they have to align according to that is the complementary opportunity. Breakthrough opportunities, as the name suggests, breakthrough, like you get a complete change. Okay, breakthrough opportunities involve fundamental changes in the both the structure and the characteristic of the business. Let us say, so a particular company is in the IT, and they see opportunity in other sector. Let's say healthcare. So that is a breakthrough. Means they it is apart from their domain, so it will involve the greater change in their structure and the character of the business that they are involved in. So among these things, the additive opportunities involve the least amount of disturbance, right? Additive, like, because those such opportunities go in line with what is currently present. So that brings in the least disturbance for the particular enterprise. and because there is a least change, it it also makes it as less risky. The amount of risk that will be considered for the additive opportunity is relatively less. The amount of risk for complementary is more, and breakthrough it is higher than that. So in case of a complementary opportunities or the breakthrough opportunities, the amount of risk that is involved is very high. Project identification cannot be complete without identifying the characteristics of the project. So when you are doing the project identification, you have to look into the characteristic of the project. What are the key features? What are the key elements of particular project? Without identifying them, it is not project identification is not complete. Every project has three elements. Okay, that is input, output, and social costs and benefits. So whenever you are considering a project, what are the inputs are there, what would be the outputs or the outcome of that project, and what are the social costs and benefits associated with that particular project, that has to be looked into. The input characteristics define what the project will consume in terms of the raw material, energy, manpower, finance, and organizational setup. So input, as we understand, so uh, for a particular project, what are the input? Input are the resources. So resources are human resources, raw material. Okay, what is the energy consumption? What kind of a manpower is required, what kind of a capital requirement is there, and what is the organizational setup, how the organization is set up. All those things form as an input for the project. The native and magnitude of these inputs must be determined in order to make the input characteristics explicit. So we have to make sure that how we are going to resolve each of these things, right? And how much we want, how much raw material we want, how much manpower we want, we have to think about that explicitly. The output characteristic of a project define what the project will generate in the form of goods and services, employment, revenue, etc. So output, what is the output characteristics? What is going to be the outcome of the particular project, whether it's a goods, whether it's a services, okay, and what kind of employment revenue it will generate. All those things are forms as the output. The quantity and quality of all this output should be clearly specified, right? How much quantity, whether it's a goods or services, what is the quantity, and what is the quality, what kind of a quality of the product should be, it should be clearly specified. In addition, every project will have impact on the society. So when a particular project is being carried out, definitely it will have an impact on the society, right? When we are talking about the project, we are not only restricted to IT projects. It can be civil projects, like example, building dams, building bridges, okay, building railway lines, right? It can be any kind of a project, or building a power plant. So when such things are built, when there is a dam, when there is a power plant, definitely it will going to have an impact on the society, right? That we have to be aware of. It inevitably affects the current equilibriums of demand and supply in the economy. So definitely, when you are producing something, there is a balance between the demand and supply. Okay, that equilibrium will be affected because of your enterprise. It is necessary to evaluate carefully the sacrifice which the society will be required to make, and benefit will not accrue to the society from a given project. So this aspect is very, very important. When there is a new project is being executed, definitely it will have a impact on the society. For example, if you are planning to build a dam, when you are planning to build a dam, then the catchment area where the water will get stored, it might the people who are living in that particular area will definitely they will get impacted. Maybe they have to evacuate because their area is going to get submerged. So that kind of a impact will be there on the society. Or if you are setting up a factory, and it is the when factory is working, it will contribute to certain pollution of the environment. So that should be considered. Okay, when it is polluting the area, that will have impact on the society, and that particular factor is to be taken care. Or another example is when government is allowing certain company to come in, large company, they are going to acquire the lands, right? Agricultural lands. So society is impacted. If they want to make roads, definitely land acquisition is one of the things where the society will be impacted. Project feasibility study. So when we are taking up the project, we have to do the feasibility study. That is the even when you are doing the your project next year, you have to do the feasibility study. What is the meaning of the feasibility study? Is you are making sure that that particular project is feasible or not. Means that can be completed without any problem or not. For example, in case of IT projects, you come up with some kind of a project you want to do. You have a dependency on certain data, and that data is not available. So definitely your project will not be able to complete without that particular data. That is the limitation. So before taking up the project, we have to think about its feasibility. In these are the different ways we have to think whether that particular project is feasible. Project feasibility analysis is carried out to ensure viability of the project. Viability means what? Whether that particular project can be taken up or not. The important project feasibility study. When I told you a particular project can be successful, viable, not successful, viable, can be done or not, has to be checked in the different views. What are those different views? We have to check from the market feasibility, with respect to the market, whether it is feasible or not. Technical feasibility. What is the technical feasibility? Whatever the project you are thinking of, technically whether that can be done or not. That is the technical feasibility. Financial feasibility, with given kind of a investment, the return on investment, ROI, may not be that good. So it may not be feasible financially, even though it looks lucrative, but financially it is not possible. Then we have to check economic feasibility, whether economically whether that particular project feasible or not. Ecological feasibility, whether considering the ecology. I told about the some of the projects, dams, right? Setting up the factory, nuclear power plant. Definitely it will have an impact on the ecology of the system. Okay, ecology at that particular area, we have to consider that possibility also, ecological possibility. Market feasibility. In case of a market feasibility is concerned with the two aspects: the aggregate demand for the proposed product or service, the market share of the project under consideration. When we talk about the market, we talk about the whatever the proposed product or service we have, what is the market share, what is the market demand that is going to be arising. We have to look into those aspects. For this, market analysis requires variety of information and appropriate forecasting methods. When you are doing the market analysis, you need lot of information. Okay, and information that will help you in forecasting. Okay, what is the forecasting is, uh, you are able to predict. Okay, similar to weather forecasting. The you like forecast the temperature, rain, whatever the weather related elements for a week, for a month. Okay, so that you get a rough idea. Similarly, you should have a forecast of your market demand, maybe for 1 month, 6 months, for 1 year. What would be the demand that will be arising? The kind of information required is consumption trends in the past and the present consumption level. So one of the thing is consumption trends. particular product or service, how it is consumed in the past and how it is getting consumed in the present. So that will give some kind of a idea whether your project is feasible with respect to the market or not. Past and present supply position, production possibilities, and construction constraints. What are the possibilities that are available for the particular products or service production, and what are the constraints? Imports and exports, structure of competition, cost structure, elasticity of demand, consumer behavior, intentions, motivation, attitudes, preferences, and requirements, and distribution channels, administrative and technical and legal concerns. So these are the certain areas you have to look into when you are doing the market feasibility. We have to check so what are the imports and exports in that particular area, what is the competition we have, and what is the cost structure we have, and how is the consumer behavior in that particular area, and what are the distribution channels we have, and what are the legal constraints. So if there are any material that is bound by the legal constraint. Okay, for example, if you are in a food processing industry, there are certain elements and there are restriction on how much it should be used. So those things has to be looked into. Next is the technical analysis. In case of a technical analysis, it seeks to determine whether prerequisites for successful commissioning of the project have been considered, and reasonably good choices have been made with respect to location, size, and so on. Let us say there is a railway project, Konkan Railway, right? We know it goes through the Konkan areas, that is a coastal area of India, and it goes through a different kinds of a terrain, right? Very difficult terrains. So technically, we have to make sure that whether we can have that particular project in that area. So that is a technical analysis. The important questions raised in the technical analysis are: has the availability of raw material, power, and other inputs been established? So what kind of questions we have to ask when we are doing the technical analysis? Whether the raw material is available, whether the power that is required for that particular project is available, whether all the inputs that are required are established well, means where we are getting it, how much we are getting, whether those things are established or not. Is selected scale of operation optimal? Whatever the scale you are doing, whether it is optimal or not, that we have to check. We don't want to do too large or too small. Okay, when we are bringing the operations, it should be just optimal, which will make it as beneficial. Is the production process chosen suitable? Whatever the production process you have chosen, whether it is suitable or not, that has to be checked in the technical analysis. Are the equipment and machines chosen appropriate for your requirement? The kind of machines you want, let us say you want motor, what capacity motor you want, 1 HP, 2 HP, 3 HP, whether it is appropriate or not, that should be taken care. Have the auxiliary equipment and supplementary engineering works been provided for? So we have to check if there is a requirement for any auxiliary equipment or supplementary engineering works that are done or not. Has the provision made for the treatment of the effluents? So this is one of the important thing, whether the treatment of the effluents, whether that technology is available or not, and it is in line with the government regulations, that has to be checked. Is the produced layout of the site, building, and plant sound? Means whatever the layout you have built for the site and the building, whether it is perfect or not. Have work schedules been drawn up realistically? Whatever the work schedules that are planned, whether it is realistic or not. Let us say you are planning to build a dam. You will say it will be done in 1 year. Whether that 1 year is whether it is a realistic or not, that should be checked. Is the technology proposed to be employed appropriate from the social point of view? So we have to consider the social point also when we are seeing that particular project is realistic or not. Financial analysis. Financial analysis is necessary as ascertain whether proposed project is financially viable. So first, foremost important thing other than market analysis, technical analysis in terms of finance, whether that particular project is financially viable. Okay, whether it is from finance perspective, whether it is beneficial or not, it is very, very important. It is checked in the sense of being able to meet the burden of servicing department, whether the proposed project will satisfy the return expectation of those who provide the capital. So whoever is investing a capital, they should see a good amount of returns, whether that is happening or not, considering all the expenses, all the costs, whether the return on investment is good or not. The aspects to be looked into while conducting financial appraisals are as follows. So what are the things we have to look? Investment outlay and cost of project, the means of financing where we are going to get the finance, project profitability we have to see, and break-even point. What is a break-even point is? Break-even point is like whatever the cost you are incurring and whatever the profit you are getting. If both are equal, then we call it as a break-even point. Means you are, for all your operation, for all your investment, you are spending 1 lakh rupees, and what you are earning is also 1 lakh rupees. That is a break-even point. So your profit should be above the break-even point, or in some cases it can be at break-even point for certain amount of time, and then it should increase. Cash shows of the project. What is the cash? It should be cash flows. What is the cash flow of the project? How much cash flow you are getting? Investment worthiness judged in terms of various criteria of merit, and project financial position, and what is the level of risk. Those things has to be considered as the financial feasibility. Next one is the economic and social cost benefit analysis. This is concerned with judging the project from the larger social point of view, where in focus on social costs benefits of a project, which may often different from the monetary costs and benefits. So this is the social factor, where if not only from the financial aspect, we have to look from the social aspect, how much beneficial it is for the society. Even though financially it might look may not be a very lucrative project, but from the social aspect it is a very good project that has to be considered. Questions to be answered in social cost benefit analysis are as follows. What are the direct economic benefits and costs of the project measured in terms of shadow prices and not in terms of the market prices? So these things should be checked at the not from the market prices, it is checked from the social aspect. What would be the impact of the project on the distribution of income in the society? Okay, how the wealth is distributed, that should be the one consideration that goes in this particular feasibility study. What would be the impact of the project on the level of savings and investment in the society? So that is considering the savings and investments of the society. What would be the contribution of the project towards the fulfillment of certain like self-sufficiency, employment, and social order? So these are the benefits. Other benefits like self-sufficiency. Suppose India is has to import certain aspects. Let us say, even though it is financially not a very good project, but it achieves the self-sufficiency. That's a we can say it's a social benefit. It is generating employment. It is making the social order. Those are the things that will help with the country as a whole. That should be considered as the social aspects. Ecological, we have to consider of the ecology, the environmental aspects. Okay, today environment concerns assured a great deal of significance, and hence ecological analysis should be done. Particulars for the project which have significant ecological implications like power plants, irrigation schemes, and environmental polluting industries like chemicals, leather, and processing. Just I give an example of the power plant and other industries where it will have an impact on the society. That should be considered as a part of a ecological analysis. The key questions to be answered in ecological analysis are as follows. What is the likely damage caused by the project to the environment? What kind of a damage it will cause to the environment? What is the cost of restoration measures required to ensure that the damage to the environment is contained within acceptable? Those are the kind of questions we have to ask in case of a ecological analysis of any project feasibility study. So any project when we are doing, we have to consider those kind of a feasibility studies. So with that, we will end today's class. That completes your